broadcast due to either technical reasons or topics that may to the Open Public Meetings Act, interruptions in the recording may occur. This meeting will be televised on EHT TV Channel 97 and posted on the Township's website. Pursuant to Egg Harbor Township Code, public comment is subject to established rules of procedure, including a 5-minute time limit, recognition by the mayor, and standards of decorum. Comments shall be directed to the governing body. Thank you.
Can everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, dang.
Connor, we should have had you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
E. Castellano,
Here.
Paul Hodson.
Yes.
William Pauls.
Here.
Ray Ellis.
Yes.
Laura Fromer.
I am here. We have two presentations, but we're actually going to skip the first one that's on everybody's agenda. We're going to do that later on in the month. But we have a young gentleman here tonight, and he has been a very good neighbor and a good citizen and an incredible help to one of his neighbors. So, Connor, would you like to come down with your mom and dad, or? Mr. Castellano is going to read the proclamation.
Proclamation in recognition of Connor Cowley for his selfless service and compassion. Whereas acts of kindness and compassion strengthen the bonds of community and reflect the highest values of citizenship. And whereas on a cold and icy day, Mr. Zimmerman, an elderly and seriously ill resident, suffered a fall in his backyard and was unable to rise due to his physical condition and the hazardous weather. And whereas Connor Cowley, demonstrating exceptional awareness, empathy, and courage, responded immediately upon discovering Mr. Zimmerman's distress. And whereas, despite the difficult and dangerous conditions, Connor made every effort to assist Mr. Zimmerman in getting back to his feet, showing determination and genuine concern for his neighbor's well-being. And whereas, although Connor was physically unable to lift Mr. Zimmerman on his own, his prompt action and willingness to help ensured that other neighbors were alerted and able to come to Mr. Zimmerman's aid. And whereas Connor's selflessness, quick thinking, and compassionate spirit exemplify the very best qualities of a caring neighbor and responsible young citizen. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Township Committee of the Township of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, that Connor Cowley is hereby recognized and commended for his outstanding act of kindness, his willingness to assist the neighbor in need, and his demonstration of integrity, courage, and community spirit. May his actions serve as an inspiration to others, reminding us all of the importance of looking out for one another and stepping forward to help those in need. Congratulations.
Here's a copy of the proclamation that Committeeman Castellano just read. And first of all, what grade are you in? Fifth. You're in fifth grade. Representative of the kids in Egg Harbor Township. That was the ice storm, and it was very slippery, I'm sure.
And then I heard, it could quite get up. Excellent.
You did the exact right thing. You couldn't do it all yourself. Mrs. Zimmerman actually reached out to our office and wrote us a letter. Oh, we felt it was very important to bring you in and to tell you that we. Thank you so very much, and Mr. Ellis, I'm sure has something to say.
I don't like long meetings, but when we are our kids, I'll take all night. Connie, go sit in my seat so Mama can take a picture of you. I was in Wawa the other day, and a young fella, he was with his mom, and he ran to the door and opened up the door for myself and others. I said, shows you're doing a great job.
Sit right here.
Because we don't see that much anymore, and I ran to the
Behind
car
that,
to tell
get a
them
picture.
you're doing a great job.
You can bang together.
Yeah.
Wasn't it cold for the
Tell me.
trampoline?
you go.
You weren't cold out there at the trampoline.
Say you brave, you didn't care about the cold, you just wanted to help, right? That's right. Right.
That was a good thing.
Who's getting the picture? This one. There we go. Tell Mr. Ellis, that's enough right now.
Thank you for everything.
One day you'll be in that chair, right? That's right. You in middle school? I mean, older? What school?
I go to Atlantic Christian School.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you. It's
Good
a great
job.
thing. And you know what? I know, like I said earlier, your neighbors are very, very happy with what you did.
Yeah,
Could you move on my block? 'Cause, you know, he won't come pick me up.
he drives his car in the
Thank you so
snow.
much. Mom and Dad, we appreciate it.
Hey, how are you? Congratulations.
Good job. Good job.
It'd be cold on the trampoline. I said, it's too cold to go out there and jump around on that trampoline.
Great kid you got there. He's awesome.
Well, that's the way to start a meeting. That's the best way to start them. Connor, we're going to go back into our meeting now. It's probably going to be about an hour. Mom and Dad, if you want to leave, you feel free, or you can stay. That's completely up to you. Well, tomorrow, you can go to our website. He can see this tomorrow. This should be up on YouTube tomorrow. You can go to our website and get the link right to it, and so you can see the whole thing. There'll be a television star starting tomorrow. So, thank you. Yes.
Actually gonna, I have to run to my office. I want to give this young man something from the police department.
Connor, could you hold on one second? This is our chief of police. He'll be right back. They've got an easy way into their office right there. So he will be right back. All righty, let's keep moving forward. We have a public hearing on ordinance number 5. Mr. Friedman?
Hey, we doing the ordinances first? Prior to the school?
Oh, geez, that's right. I'm looking right at you guys. I'm
got
just
you.
ready to
I got
go.
you.
He said, let's move this along, and I'm like, all right. All right, well.
Yeah.
Dr. Gruccio, Dan Smith, and we have members of the Board of Education here. I'm just going to say your names. I'm not going to ask you to come out and give a speech. We've got Barbara Salagi, Mike Price, Tamika Floyd, and Christy Bird. Thank you all for being here. Dr. Gruccio, I know you're here tonight to talk about the referendum that's coming up next week. So the floor is yours.
I'd also like to introduce Assistant Superintendents, Mr. George West and Ms. Lily Moss, who are with us to represent the school district. But thank you for giving us the time to explain the referendum that we're setting out for vote on March 10th, which is coming around the corner on Tuesday. And just to share more information with the public, to realize that we want to keep our debt steady and we would like to finance some capital projects through this referendum. So as you know, largest school district in Atlantic County. We have great students, great faculty and staff, and we offer great opportunities, awesome opportunities for our students. And we want to continue to be the best that we are. And I say that all without raising taxes. So without further ado, Business Administrator Mr. Dan Smith will share the particulars with you and with the public audience so they have a better understanding about the vote that they will cast on Tuesday, March 10th. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Gruccio. Thank you, Township Committee, for having us tonight. Our message is short and simple, right? So when we started this process about a year ago, working with the Finance Committee of the board, our goal was to do a referendum without any tax increase. So that's what we're proposing. Right now, our current debt service tax levy is about $5.4 million. So we're looking to continue that for the next 3 years. We have expiring debt that we paid off in this fiscal year and last fiscal year that will allow us to add the new debt to replace that outgoing debt. So the goal would be, again, keep the tax rate to tax levy steady for the next 3 years. And then in fiscal year 31, the levy would go down to about $2.4 million, which would be a decrease for all the taxpayers in the township. And actually the tax rate is actually going down each year because ratables have gone up. So there is a slight decrease for the average taxpayer in the township each year through this referendum. We've worked hard to kind of establish that. The last couple years, we spent a lot of time completing facilities projects using other sources of income. So we did an ESIP project, which is an energy savings improvement plan that helped us become more energy efficient. We're able to replace some rooftop units and things like that through that process. We did a ROD grant. We did for rooftop units, we did a preschool expansion grant through the state that we just completed last summer at the Davenport complex. We also did a grant about 3 years ago now at the high school where we replaced several rooftop units through the BPU. So we've kind of gone down this road where we've looked at alternative funding sources. How do we keep the tax levy steady? How do we avoid huge increases in the general fund? And that's what we've done. So we've come to a point now where we were ready to roll out a referendum. It's for needed HVAC improvements. We're adding some classroom space at Fernwood and at Miller. It'll help us with future expansion, help us kind of stay on track with our facilities improvements. We're still continuing with the general fund to allocate funds for HVAC, but this referendum will help get us that lump sum amount so we can get a lot of those projects done in one shot. Another big part of the referendum is our state aid. So of the $36 million total, $8 million of that can come from the state in debt service aid. So we're not eligible for that through the general fund or the regular budgeting process. So the referendum allows us to grab that $8 million and bring it into the projects as well. As far as the projects, we met with our professionals, trying to plan for the future, trying to correct some deficiencies through the buildings. I think we've done a good job of that. And again, it all comes back to the tax levy. So our main goal is that keep the tax levy steady or go down. And that's where we're at right now. So I think those are the main points we wanted to hit. Like I said, it seems like a very short and simple message, and that's how we wanted to keep it. We didn't want this to be complicated. We didn't want it to be complex. Here's our projects. Here's how much it costs, and here's the effect on the taxpayer. So again, we want to keep that tax levy steady for the next couple of years, and then it decreases in 2031. Yeah, so one question that we've gotten from some residents is, what if I vote yes? What if I vote no? What does that mean? So obviously a yes vote allows the school district to go out and get that financing. Without voter approval, we can't do that. So another question that came up was, can you just go get a loan or something? And that's how we kind of have been explaining it. And no, that's not possible for the school district. So we do need the voter approval for that. So a yes vote allows us to issue bonds roughly in May, grab that $8 million in state aid, complete the projects, and also keep the tax levy steady, which is our main goal. A no vote is obviously the opposite, right? So we don't get any financing. We have to piecemeal the projects, maybe do them in phases, which could lead to higher costs, maybe some inefficiencies. We lose that state aid portion of the projects, and then ultimately it would be an increase in the general fund tax levy. So, for example, the chiller at Fernwood is in dire straits, needs to be replaced. So if the referendum does not get approved, we have to figure out a way to do that project through the general fund. And right now it's about a $4 million project. So we're not talking about little things here and there. These are kind of big, major things that we have to get done. So that's kind of where we're at when we look at yes versus no. We can't tell everyone to vote one way or the other, but we're just providing all the information. We've done a good job with our website. So if anyone wants to check that out, you can go to our Board of Education tab, and there's a referendum section that has a lot of good information. All of our presentations are on there, all of our videos. There's an FAQ page, and as questions come in from residents, we answer those questions and then put that on the page as well. So there's a lot of good information there. And that's kind of where we're at right now. So we did send a mailer out, like we've been using social media, our parent square. And one thing to add that's kind of outside of the referendum is we did everything in-house. So that was one way we wanted to save the taxpayers, was not have that large expense. You know, most districts will hire a consulting firm or marketing firm to help with a referendum. We did entertain that, but you know, with the cost of those firms, we wanted to tackle it in-house. I think we've done a good job of that. So that's where we're at. Again, it's just another way trying to keep our costs down through this process.
One question I've gotten, and I know you've gotten, is why are you doing it now? Why aren't you doing it in the primary, or why didn't you do it in the general election?
Yep, so there's 5 times throughout the year that a school district can go out to referendum. It's January, March, September, and December. And then the 5th time is when your school board election is, whether April or November. So, you know, we wanted to do it now in March because if we have the referendum approved before the 26-27 budget is finalized, which is the end of April, then we will start gathering that debt service aid in 27-28. So the state skips a year. Once your referendum is approved, it skips that next budget, and then the following budget is when you start receiving that aid. So that was one reason. Another reason is to keep the tax levy steady. So with doing a vote in March and having it approved before our budget, we will make our first debt service payment in the 26-27 budget, keeping that $5.4 million steady. So without the referendum, that $5.4 million would dip down and then come back up the following year. So it'd be kind of a roller coaster for the taxpayers. So we're trying to just keep that steady so that there's no change on the average taxpayer.
Real quick, I hear yes and no. I hear yes. That there'd be no tax increase, but explain the no from what I'm hearing. The no means tax increase down the future, right?
Yeah, and as early as 26-27. So, you know, we're working on our budget now. We won't get our state aid figures until March 12th. You know, but it's not a great situation for us or a lot of school districts in the state. So we are looking to make reductions. You know, so, you know, we used the chiller as an example of $4 million. We'd have to do that project. So whether that means cutting more out of the budget or going over the 2% to fund that project, that's the most likely scenario at this point. So we would be looking at, obviously we would need board approval, but our presentation to the board would be, we need these projects done, and there's only limited funds to pay for them.
So that means that no mean we're going to pay it through the taxpayers.
That would be my recommendation to the board. You know, again, we have to get those projects done.
All right, but the yes mean no taxes for those 2 years. Well, no increase.
Right, so no increase on the debt service side. So we have 2 tax levies, right? We have the general fund and the debt service fund. So the debt service fund is a separate rate on the taxpayers, and the revenue that comes in through that only pays principal and interest for bonds that have been issued in the past. The general fund is what funds are, you know, salaries, benefits, transportation, custodians, things like that. So the general fund side is where those projects would reside if we don't have the referendum. And that's where we would see a tax increase. So you would see, if there's no referendum, you'd see that debt service number drop down over the next couple of years and then be zero. So in 2031, we would be debt free. We would have no debt on our books. But the reverse is the general fund would go up pretty quickly and significantly.
Anybody else have any questions?
The only question I got is, nothing's guaranteed in life, but does the state on board for their grant?
Yes, so part of the...
Because, you know, we got a new governor, and you're waiting for numbers from her, but is it guaranteed that grant, and I love grants, but when the grants go away, somebody has to pick it up. So are we going to get the grant money? I mean, I guess you can say to the best of your ability, you...
Right.
You asked for it.
Right, as of today, yes. So when we submit our projects, this is a 12-month process. So we have to design our projects, submit that to the Department of Education for review and approval, and then they give us a funding letter which says, okay, your total project cost is X, your eligible costs are Y, and here's the debt service aid we'll give you for that. So once we obtain that letter and it becomes final, then we're locked into that funding, and we can get to that funding within 18 months. So once we get our approval letters, we have 18 months to go to vote and secure that funding. So the Department of Education does have a separate debt service fund where these funds will come from. So it's outside of the funding that comes to the district in our regular state aid lines. So it's separate funds that are set aside for this purpose to encourage districts to go out and do a referendum to do construction projects and things like that. Occasionally, the state will issue ROD grants, which are regular operating district grants, which will also use those funds. So they're set there for specific purposes. I believe it was maybe 8 or 9 years ago, the state issued bonds for that purpose to put those funds in a capital improvement outlay.
And the schools are all getting old. I mean, they need improvements. I mean, you got to do the maintenance.
If I could, I just want to thank Mr. Smith, Dr. Gruccio, Ms. Gilbert-Floyd, all the board members. I want to thank you for being here and the great work that you do all the time and the great work that you did on this particular project. I support it, and I support our schools. It's fiscally responsible. There's no tax increase. You're drawing down state aid. You're using long-term debt for long-term assets. You're doing things that we need done. We need classroom space. And as you guys got sick of hearing me all those years on the board, you have to maintain our buildings and grounds so that we have safe and healthy learning environments so our students can learn and our teachers can teach. So I commend you, and I thank you for the good work that you did on this. I support this referendum, and I support the district. So thanks again.
Thank you.
I know to the general public, you should have all gotten a sample ballot in your mail within the last week or so. If you didn't, or you don't know where to vote, you can go online and find out. I don't know if the school has set up anything to help people direct them. You can call the Board of Elections. They will tell you. You can call our office and we can find out for you too. Because not all of our normal polling locations are open.
Correct. We're consolidated down to 10 locations.
We're normally 22 districts.
So if you don't have your sample ballot, you can go to the Atlantic County Board of Elections website. We refer everyone to them. They're the experts in the elections, so we don't want to get involved. So if you're not sure, we've been recommending they contact the Board of Elections.
So when people go to vote that day, that they do know that the people that are working there are not school board employees. They are Board of Election employees. Any questions for the school board, go to the school board. So, yeah, people like to talk to us. So we want to make sure that the questions go to the right spot. And if anybody reaches out to us, we will direct them over to you and to your office.
Yeah.
And to the website, because I know the website's got all the information on it, so. But now, Pete, you said that well. I think it's.
Mayor, being a former board member, I too support this. And it was real important to get a better understanding of what's going on. And I think the public and the residents got to then get a clear message, and you're going above and beyond, Mr. Dan, on trying to fill the community in on what's going on. Better to have now and, try to save for later. We might, get the rough end of it, but I support it. And I better understand what we're about now.
I will say this, the communication on this referendum is probably the best out of all of them since I've lived in this town. So you've done a good job on that.
Thank you.
You've done a good job on that. And these buildings are getting old, as Paul said. Pete, as you said, they're long-term assets.
Yeah, we forget. I mean, I sit on the MUA. Our sewer system's 45 years old. And we're having improvements and maintenance. Nothing lasts for 45 years. That was a shocker to me sitting in the MUA. We started putting sewer in this town, and we needed it bad. It's 40 to 45 years old, some of the infrastructure. So we understand that, and I think the public should understand the maintenance of the buildings. They look good from the outside, but until you get inside, there's issues. I just get nervous about the grants. I love grants, But when the grant goes away, somebody has to pick it up. And that's what, I hope the state lives up to what they say they'll do.
You don't want to leave state money on the table.
No, if the state's offering, we want to try to secure that funding.
Yeah, get it.
$8 million. That's worth getting. That's worth getting.
Yeah, I mean, we're a big district, we're the largest in the county, and we got a lot of facilities. So, and like I said, it's good that you're taking a proactive approach to get this done. And we all that travel the township know where your pre-K is by the way they let out on Morgantown Road. So we'd much rather have them on one of your facilities.
Yes.
And it makes sense.
Do you have any questions for us, or we're good? Any questions we get, we're going to send them your way. And
We'll send it to Ray. He can.
Oh, yeah,
That's it.
yeah. But,
Yeah, we have plenty of candy.
like I said, that's a good thing because the school board, you do a beautiful job with our kids and don't mess with the babies. And, that just goes to show you people want to come into EHT. And we have great school, great town, and, it's just a beautiful place to live. And we want to continue to have it that way.
good luck.
Thank you.
Remind everybody again, we'll remind at the end of the meeting that next Tuesday.
Tuesday, March 10th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m.
So there's some changes. That's the one thing we want to make sure we get out. From the voters' perspective, the information is out there to grab, but from a voter's perspective, it's 12 noon.
Correct.
It's not 6 in the morning. And they go at 12, and they have to find out what building they go to. A couple of the schools. So.
Right.
And you got to, the questions I had so far, why aren't they using my poll? So you try to explain it, but I think you got to harp on the 10 locations that you got to get to vote on this question. We got to pare them down to 10. It's understandable, but so they understand, and they can see it on a sample ballot. Should tell you right there.
Do you expect to have results then? There's mail-in ballots. Are there mailin ballots on this?
There are. Yep.
Yeah.
So-
Mailing and the samples are out.
Yeah, the samples are out. I was wondering how many mail-ins are going to be, because if it's close, it's going to hinge on those. So.
Yeah, we should have a rough idea Tuesday night, but if it's close, we may have to wait a few days for the mail-in ballots to get processed.
Well, good luck. Good luck. Good luck, all of you. Good luck. Thank you all for being here.
Just a question, you going to do any signage around with it?
We have not, no. Everything's been digital. So we utilize Parent Square for our parent communication. We use social media. We did a mailer that went to every resident in the township as well.
I don't know, are you dealing with the Board of Elections directly? One thing I'm just thought of is the red voter signs are still out,
Yeah.
and that could confuse people.
Yeah, they are out.
They are. So there's 22 signs out there saying where polling locations are.
Okay, we can follow up with them. So
I would follow up with that to make sure they at least cover them or something, because
Yeah.
someone's going
People are
to.
confused.
They're permanent.
Yeah, they are. So, Janice will.
That's going to be all.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
bag them off though.
If they just bag them off for a week.
Yeah, cover them.
There are signs?
They can't remove them though, they're definitely,
So we can bag, so it's going to be on us then.
okay.
So,
That's a good point, because the questions are, why don't I vote where I normally vote?
and if someone shows up at a poll to vote
It's
and
only
it's
in one
closed,
district.
they might not vote.
My recommendation would be to put wherever that.
That's a good idea.
So we can put.
That's a good idea.
But we just gotta know the information and we'll make something up and then we'll redirect that district to a different location.
The woman asked me, how come I'm not allowed to vote for the referendum? I said, you are allowed to vote. There's 10 locations. Because she got her ballot. I said, you got to read your ballot. It'll tell you where to go.
So it is important because it says right on the outside of your ballot where you go. So yeah, but we have to make sure because those signs are out there. So, yeah, we got to take care of that. Or call the Board of Elections, put the bill in.
That's a good idea with the signs.
Yeah.
They could bag
They're
them
out
and
there.
put instructions on them.
Yeah.
Because-
We have blank sandwich boards too from the county gave us back. Sandwich board and parking lot.
Well, they can go any one of the 10. So if you bag it, say, please go to Skelville, District 4 or whatever, yeah.
No, it's specific.
Oh, it is
It's-
specific.
It's open for 10, right?
Yeah, but if say 20 has to go to
Right,
9. We'll take
right.
20.
It won't, you might not know where they're being sent to, so might be better just to cover them up
Just cover them up.
instead of redirecting to the wrong poll. Or a note on the door, if you're not sure where to vote, contact the Board of Elections and their website or phone number. We could do that. Trying. We'll get as many voters out there that day that we can, so.
We appreciate it. Okay.
Anything else from you guys? No, we're good? Okay. Thank you. Thank you all
Thank
for
you.
coming in. Good luck. I know it's a lot of work, so good luck.
Thank you.
Chief, did you want to? You're still here.
So, Connors, you. Hold him over.
Let's go home. He wanted to go home.
You wanted to learn a little bit about,
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so when I heard Connor brought up for, Connor, when I was listening to your the proclamation. Really wowed me, so I immediately thought, so we have these challenge coins now, the Edgar Township Police. On the other side is the township seal. So are deserving of one of our challenge coins. And the reason, and you are the first young man, 18 years of age or younger, to ever be issued or receive one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if you look on it, it's got a number 15. Edgar Township is district. First.
You can bring it to school, show your teacher.
I think it's a testament again, service to others. That's what that coin stands for, and that's what. All right.
Thanks, Connor. Thank you, Chief. Connor, you can go home now.
Let's get on his homework.
All right. Bob? Mr. Watkins?
You want to do Bob or Oliver?
Let's do Oliver first. Probably shouldn't sit in the front row because I'm just ignoring everybody sitting in the front row.
Mayor, while he's handing that out, if you don't mind, I'd like to read something. A lot of the information I'm about to give you is from Public Works Director Al Simerson. He put together a memo regarding the operations, pretty much a summary of what Oliver's handing out to the Township Committee. But I just want to take a moment to recognize what an incredible job Public Works did during this storm. It was the worst one we've seen in 10 years, and they were out there pretty much for 4 days straight. I don't even know if Oliver has been to bed yet. But we do certainly understand what the residents, when they can't get out of their streets right away, it can be frustrating. I think it's important to give a little context to the scale and the operation our crews were dealing with for this storm. Egg Harbor Township maintains over 300 miles of roadway across roughly 68 square miles, all of which must be serviced during the storm. Our Public Works operates with about 30 pieces of snow removal equipment, 40 staff members that are trained and credentialed to plow snow. During the storm, we had approximately 20 plow units running in 12-hour rotating shifts for nearly 4 days straight. The storm produced approximately 17 inches of snow with near hurricane force winds, which resulted in hundreds of downed trees and power lines that crews had to clear from roadways while operations were ongoing. Public Works crews were also assisting police, fire, and EMS responses throughout the storm while maintaining access to the community center, which we opened as a warming center for residents without power. Our operational goal during the storm of this magnitude is to have all roads passable within 36 hours after snowfall. Snowfall stopped roughly Monday afternoon, 4 o'clock. It ultimately took about 42 hours for them to clear the roads, which is still reasonable within the operational range that was given. It's also important to understand that clearings of the roads require multiple passes to safely open lanes for travel. With more than 300 miles of roadway, crews can travel well over 1,200 miles of plowing routes during major storms while addressing obstacles such as the fallen trees and assisting with emergencies. Another final point which we have addressed in prior meetings is the operational challenge during snow events is vehicles parked in the streets. It slows plowing operations, makes it much more difficult for our crews to fully clear the roadway. We do appreciate everyone's patience during the storms like this. I think it's important to recognize the dedication of our public works crews as well as our first responders who worked around the clock to serve the community during the storm. So
Did a great
Al
job.
provided the numbers. I kind of just made it into my own thing. But
Yep. Thank you for shortening that a little bit, so I know it's probably longer. But yeah, I appreciate it, Tom, for reading that off because it was very accurate, and obviously you got the information from Al. But this event was way different than the last event that we had where we stood up here and talked about the ice and the cold temperatures. Luckily, the snow is almost gone. Last time that we had a conversation, it was 2 weeks and still had ice on the road, so a little bit different. But so we did have, even though we only had about 40 guys that were operationally eligible to plow, we had 65 out of our 70 total staff members come in to help and assist any way they could. We had multiple people in the office answering phone calls. Unfortunately for us, we dedicate we were dedicated and we were passionate enough to not stop answering the phones. I wish we didn't sometimes, but we did throughout the entire storm, and everybody was calling relentlessly during the normal operations of 7 to 3:30, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Even during the snowstorm, people were wondering why they didn't have their, the plows weren't out on the developments. Unfortunately, we were aiming more towards the primary roadways as usual. But we fielded thousands and thousands of complaints during that entire time. And I would like to say that we did a good job considering that they stopped almost immediately after the roads were cleared. So that was good. I haven't had any bad feedback since, which is also nice. It's good.
Well, not only did we have the snow, there are trees down everywhere and limbs everywhere.
Yeah, I spent majority of the entire time that I was at the Public Works facility with a chainsaw in my hand clearing trees myself. So at least 12 hours straight of just from one road to the other. We were doing our best to, at one point we didn't care if it was a county roadway or it didn't really matter. The operation had to continue on, emergency vehicles had to be maintained. So we were cutting trees down and leaving them on the sides of the county roads to assist them in any way we could. Obviously, it was a tough go of it because of the fact that as we made our way into the developments and our primary roadways were in excellent condition because we maintained those during the entirety of the storm. But when you try to plow 17 inches of snow with a truck that's not really designed to go through that, you end up getting about half built up on the plow and then you get stuck. So we spent countless hours pulling our own vehicles out, reestablishing chains. We put chains on our tires and then we went back to work. So even though there were a lot of challenges and we could do better, to be honest with you, but I still feel like this was the best snowstorm that I've ever been a part of. I think it was from top to bottom managed extremely well. And it really starts with the guys showing up for their 12-hour shifts. We did do a little bit different rotation this time, but to be completely honest, if any one of those crews decided that they wanted to sleep in, we wouldn't have been in the position we were in. We'd be deficient. So having that revolving 20-man army out there continually plowing snow is really the forefront of everything. Organization is awesome, but you need the guys to show up, and just really grateful that they did.
I mean, it was literally 24/7.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was a good one. I liked it.
Did you have to chain up all the trucks?
Yes. Every chain that was accessible to us. We haven't had a storm since I think Al was talking back in 96. So,
in 96.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but Al does. And he said that was the last time that it was specifically needed to have the chains put on. And,
That's a northern thing. That's a very northern thing.
And it really is. Luckily, Al kept the chains, so they were still stored. They were still in the shed.
Probably a lot of municipalities didn't have them.
Yes,
And I was surprised I heard you chain it up because.
Yeah. Oh, without them.
Because you have four-wheel drive, don't mean you can't get stuck.
I think that's the part of this that's missed a little bit is that we were able to continue the procedural effectiveness of our snow plowing operation because of the way that we were prepared. We had things, we knew the chains were there. I was just making a joke. We obviously, we oiled them up.
I don't think Al throws anything out, does he?
No, definitely not. And we did prepare the week before. We had a funny feeling that we were going to get hit pretty hard this year. So we actually put all the chains on our tires, prepped them, removed them, and organized them accordingly. So I may make a joke about it, but the best thing is that we were prepared again. As far as being prepared is everything. Once you're ready for it, then you can just keep going on. We could have continued that procedure for days on end if we needed to, as long as the equipment withheld, which was another topic for my bullet points here, where Public Works trucks are getting tired, so they tend to fall apart. The snowstorm really put a hurt on the budget. And we're continuing to purchase to replace the parts that are broken. So that's the hard part's done. The community's happy, the roads are clear, and everybody's safe. But there are things that happen preceding that that have to be completed still. So
One thing Al addressed in his letter was the cost of salt
yeah,
and what we do with salt.
yeah, we were very lucky actually because it was warm. This is not the same as the last event where we needed the salt in the worst way. This event actually, believe it or not, the only salt that dispersed out of Public Works facility was to the school district because they do need it. They obviously needed to, get their parking lots in better shape. We only had to maintain 2 parking lots, but we didn't necessarily need to put the salt down on the roadways. The roadways did their own job. Traffic is a key component. So, whereas this parking lot may not see as much traffic, that's why it needs salt. Our roadways in these conditions did not. So that's good for 2 reasons. We didn't, although it'll take a huge effect on your roadways if you continue to salt them. It deteriorates the asphalt, creates potholes. I know we have more potholes, but that's because of freezing and thawing.
We have a pothole patrol.
So, so the trees down, the not using our salt budget, so we're in a good position there. But the trucks themselves.
The salt is ineffective too with a storm of 17 inches.
Yeah, basically, if you take the route of putting salt down, you're just pushing it into a pile. There's really no effectiveness to salt in that condition. If you were safe driving, and one thing that I'm very happy about, and that really needs to be noted, is that if you could make your way to our main roads, you had a very good possibility of being safe. Regardless of the travel ban that was in effect, our main roads throughout the snowstorm were the best around. You get out to our main roadways, you were fine. You could get wherever you needed to go until you crossed the township limits. Then it's out of our control. Obviously there were struggles with the county, and the county roads were not in great shape, and that kind of gets lumped into the Public Works side of things. But the roadways that we maintain were definitely cleared and operational throughout the storm, which is impressive for 17 inches of snow. 24-hour period, 17 inches of snow, heavy, wet, windy conditions was difficult, but it was done effectively.
Great job. Great job.
No, it's tough. I did it many years. It's tough. And I just, by saying you had the manpower you did, that's everything, every bit of manpower we could deploy. So, it worked out. I mean, just hopefully I'm glad Al had this changed, because I'll guarantee you in my day in Summers Point, we would chain up fire trucks, and they were always needed. Everybody said, "Oh, you got the fire truck's heavy, he's got 1,000 gallons of water." Yeah, well, guess what? It gets stuck and it'll slide. So the chains are helpful, and you need to have them for your primary pieces.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I think if I could just, plead to any part of this, it was to probably try to get the road cleared a little bit better for us, to the public, just keep pushing out there to the community that less vehicles on the road, less vehicles that are parked on the roadways, the more effective and the better the service is going to be. In the developments, you don't see it very much on our main roadways, but they're not really that much of an issue for us. It's once we branch in there, the community wants to get their roadways opened up as fast as possible and make their way to where they have to go. And we're trying the best we can. We did the best we could. And the only way that we can become better is if we work together, have the community understand to keep the roadways clear. I mean, we did 2 days of callbacks where you could clearly see 17 inches of snow around what you would assume was a car, which it was at one point, and there's nothing you could do about it at that point. We're not dispatching a plow to come out because your neighbor didn't park in the right location. It's just not effective any longer. So plus The one other main issue though is that if you do decide that you're going to clear out your driveway prior to the snow stopping and you live in a development, this is not personal. That is not I promise you, we do not do it on purpose. We don't even have the function to pick up the snow and place it in your driveway. It just ends up there.
Yeah.
So
We push snow.
it's going,
Push
yeah, and there's some very talented plow drivers that can do an okay job. We do have young guys too, and it's important that the public understand that plowing is a talent. It doesn't come, as soon as you have to learn. There's tricks to everything, and the best form of practice that we teach them is to keep their plowed angle to the right and separate the roadway in the middle and push the snow to both sides. Doesn't always happen that way, so some sides may see more snow than others, but unfortunately, if you do shovel your driveway out before the snow stops, you will be shoveling it again. So you can wait patiently, or you can take the advice of our Clean Communities. I think it's on our Clean Communities webpage. They do avoid the second shovel postings, and you can take a look at that. And basically, you're shoveling the extra area needed to create the space from the plow. Still can't promise that the snow won't end up in your driveway, but it will help a little bit.
And I know that's not just here, because there were all kinds of videos out there about how to avoid the secondary snow.
Yeah.
So push it back.
There is a way to do it, but you have to, realistically, when we're dealing with a state of emergency and we're dealing with a travel ban, the snowstorm doesn't stop until the snow stops. And that's really another thing to keep in mind. That's why it was so critical that we put the 42 hours to full completion from the time when the snow stopped. That's not when the snow started, because there's no way to, we can't clear roadways when the snow is coming down like that. Primary roadways we keep under control, but it's very important to note that, it takes time. So even though it was sometime on Wednesday, I believe, I think that's what I put down on here. So, but basically that's where it is. So once the snow stops, then the clock starts for us. And if we're able to get 17 inches of snow up in less than 48 hours and have everybody back to work, we're pretty happy with that. Yeah.
And the school's lost, 2 days and a late start. So.
Yeah, for a storm that started late in the day on Sunday, that's 17 inches. That's I've seen.
There's a lot of snow.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
absolutely.
snow.
There's a lot of snow. There's a lot of different things. It wasn't just that. It was the trees, like you said, keeping the trees were a hazard for everybody. There were down power lines.
And you can see them all over. There's a lot of trees down that pushed off.
Oh yeah, plenty of space. Plenty of residents didn't gain service back to their electrical till Wednesday. So we beat the electric company. That's impressive. So it's nice.
It is.
No, they had crews in from Chicago.
They did.
Took 2 days to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mr. Ellis ran into him at a local eatery in the township. But you did a good job, and it could be better if you had more manpower. We can't give you 100 plow trucks.
More equipment, more manpower, and everything else.
The other thing is, the people got to think, back your car in, so when you're trying to get out, you don't have to turn and get stuck backing up. So maybe you can blast through the windrow that you just put in your front driveway and get out on a nice street. And out where I live, a lot of people put them right on the road. They're backed in. But the thing is, think about it. 17 inches of anything, and I think that's conservative, because Asbury, I measured 19. So I don't know if that's what it is, drifting or what, but it was a lot of snow.
Yeah, I don't like to exaggerate. I went through the weather report from the National Weather Service, and I just decided I was going to take their number for what it was. And actually, it didn't feel like that, but that was, I guess, being in it. It felt like there was whiteout conditions during the hours when everybody was sleeping and we were out there. There were times when we had to pull our crews in off the roadways to keep them safe. If you can't have, the first thing in emergency management is you have to be there to be able to do the job. So if you're not going to be able to be alive or be able to sustain it, then you can't be there. So we had to pull our guys in for a coffee break here and there because of the fact that it was whiteout conditions. There was no windshield wiper, no LED light that was going to keep you on the roadway. So there were times when you would be plowing and you would have no idea where the roads were. So there were challenging elements that only the plow truck drivers and the guys that worked it will actually be able to ever understand. So I think they did a great job. And like I said, again, I want to obviously thank everybody that showed up for us, Public Works wise, and even the support from everybody around. It was great. It was awesome, and they do an excellent job, and I can't say it enough. So
Well, we the guys first.
Yep.
we'll do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job. Thank you.
Thanks, Albert.
Thank you.
One question, were there more cars off the road for this storm? Because we kept pushing that after the first one. Or would,
I would say that there was, it really didn't change. But it just, I think because of, they wanted to get out quicker, so they were empty spots, so.
didn't change much.
But also, the areas where that's a problem is mostly because they have 5 or 6 cars in their driveway already, so I'm also.
We'll keep mentioning it
Yeah.
every year. Hopefully, this is it. This is what, 10 more years before we get anything like this? So, and if anybody sees that groundhog, it's like, get him, get him.
Say it publicly, the way the groundhog. Put him in a raise yard.
Very good. Thanks, Oliver. Make sure you tell each and every one, thank you for what they did. Because even answering phone calls can get a little dangerous. Some people get a little testy.
I had to stay in the office today to help everybody understand that it's not frustration.
Yeah, that's what it is. Absolutely, absolutely. All righty. I think we're going to go to Bob now.
Bob?
Bob, you all should have a hot topics in your packet about some of the big things going on in the township right now.
Yeah, if there's any questions or you want me to run through it.
Want to run through it real quick?
Sure.
Here, you want mine?
Key points.
Key points.
Just a hot one.
Cliff notes.
That's fine. So the EHT 2025 road program is 90% complete. The Mitchell Avenue still needs to be repaved and some concrete work and then a couple punch list items so that they're almost complete. Ugal Avenue just needs to be paved, and that should be paved in the next 2 weeks for that project on the curb and sidewalk project. Veterans Park, you can see a big pile of dirt out there. It's the topsoil, so we're not moving any topsoil in a little bit. Needs to dry out, but they are going to continue next week with the fencing, hopefully get all the fencing done next week, and then the irrigation will follow on the football field, and then grading of the topsoil and then sod hopefully by April. And then some lighting in the back on the BMX parking lot will be done. And West Jersey Avenue, I know it was a rush to get that done before first, or not first snowstorm, but in December. List items, there's some water along the edges, not causing any issues, but they are going to be out there on Monday. Touching those punch list items. So you will see some traffic slowdowns on West Jersey Avenue on Monday with that. And then our commercial projects are ongoing. And so is our residential projects, Ocean Club on Westcote Road and Patcong Farms on Blackman and Poplar. Construction. So if anybody has any questions, I can go in deeper, but I didn't know if you need to know anything or.
Anybody have any questions of Bob?
Yeah, again, if you guys read through them, I know I sent this out Monday or yesterday. Just reach out, let me know. I can get you any more answers or find out the information for it. And then our capital projects list or the roads for next year we're working on. I'll have that provided to you before the next meeting. Yep. I know Mr. Ellis is looking at me very intensely, scaring me. Pine Avenue is definitely on the road program. Yeah.
I know the one pothole by Alder Avenue School that had the double cones in it, they went out and filled it today.
Yeah, we filled that, you're working on getting that done.
Yeah, I believe I think Tony went out last week or the week or yeah. That is actually going to be repaved as well as part of the road program this year, finishing up. It'll be a change order to pave that crossing in front of Alder Avenue. So that will be done. Yes.
Look at Pine again.
too.
I mean, they were out there, but they're missing some on the shoulder going towards Ocean Heights. It's narrow, it's holding water, and our pothole patrol's been hitting, and I'm sure I hit it. I thought I blew a tire, but now I go around it.
Yeah, the shoulders are tough because of the compaction level's not there. Bob? But when you have
Yeah,
that
it's
section-
narrow and low.
And
So
then we fill it in and basically
And we-
it sucks it into the ground.
And we got to call the county because Zion Road from between Schoolhouse and English Creek is absolutely horrible.
That's actually going to be starting paving, I would think, in the next month. That
They are
is,
the county?
yes, Arawak paving will be out there.
It's bad.
And just be aware, roads will be closed in that section because they're going to be doing pipe work. And so keep alert on townships and counties' websites, knowing when that road will be closed. So detours will be set up going down Ocean Heights Avenue, the Steelmanville Road. Try not to use Robert Best Road as a cut through. Just hopefully, I know that that's not considered a cut through, but they will be using it. So just be careful.
Hey, real quick, like you said on Pine, 200 is two major ones, 300 block, major ones. Could you tell, like I said, where should the residents call? You know, I'll call Public Works, but it's after 4. Who you also call Communications, Public Works? I mean, the residents need to know who to call and, you know, like I said, to how to identify these potholes.
So I'd say the problem is that the urgency, right, of getting the potholes filled. So the pothole crew's been out the entire week. We've filled every day that this week since Monday, basically, or I guess not Monday. Basically since we filled the truck up with our asphalt rejuvenator and everything came in, I believe it was Monday afternoon. We've been out doing potholes the entire week, every day. We've done Pine Avenue every day. We've done Ubel every day. We put 4 tons of asphalt down today alone for Ubel Avenue. So that's a lot. If anybody has an idea of what that is.
Not to cut you off, but you mentioned Pine. Yeah, they were out there. They did Pine. Now it's even worse.
That's the
4 more.
problem.
Yeah.
So what happens is it's not the area, it's continually spreading. So like I said, Bob can talk about this too with compaction levels. When
I'm tired of talk, so I just want to get it done. So we don't need to, like I said, my question was, you know, who should they notify, you know, because that's a touchy subject with me. Y'all do the best you can, but
Yeah, you can
just
notify
today,
Public Works or
I'm
you
scared,
can
you're
notify
scared to drive,
dispatch.
especially at night. You don't want to drive down Zion. You don't want to drive down Pine. I drive in the middle of the street. Then you got the rumple strips, and you go, you know. So we just got to get it done. You guys are out there.
Yeah, we're out there daily, so you keep
Yes.
reporting them, we keep going. The potholes you're reporting on Monday are being filled and then spreading, and that's a new pothole on Tuesday.
Yeah, I noticed because the guys were just there. So that's all I need to know is who to call.
Yep, keep calling Public Works.
Okay.
And if it does get to a point where you get no contact, then dispatch.
Right. Okay. I just want the public to know that's all, like, you know, because after 4, I guess called dispatch.
Non-emergency.
Non-emergency.
Non-emergency, right
yes.
here.
Non-emergency, and then Public Works has voicemail messages that we listen to daily.
We do. You
when
can
get
leave a
back in.
message there, and you can go online and report it too.
You can, yep.
So,
There's multiple ways to report them.
yeah, there are. Bob, do you have anything else
No,
for the engineering report?
no, I don't have anything else at this point.
Okay.
Okay?
So when you start talking about the roads for next,
I'll have the list out next week, and then you guys will see it or review it, and we can discuss it at the next meeting. Be like, yeah.
We're going to discuss it.
We just have to, we have to budget. The budget's going to have to be discussed because certain roads are going to be increased, and I don't know how we're going to get all the roads done if the budget isn't increased. $1.1 million goes really fast on a 2-mile road. So,
100% it does.
yeah, so I just want to make sure everybody is aware of that.
Have a good discussion on that because as
Absolutely.
this clears up and the sun actually comes back out, I hope it comes out.
Yeah, we'll
And we
see.
really get to see what's out there.
Yep,
So,
you got it. Thank you.
good. Thanks, Bob. All right. Got them all, right? We're good.
Mr. Freeman.
All right, Mr. Friedman. You're not sitting in the front row, so I won't skip you. You're up here, so.
Hey, ordinances?
Yes, sir. Ordinance number 5.
Ordinance number 5. It's like the longest I've gone without saying a word. Public hearing, ordinance number 5 is an ordinance amending Chapter 6 of the Code of Township of Egg Harbor entitled Boards and Commissions, specifically Chapter 6-140 members relating to the Environmental Commission. The purpose of this ordinance is to amend Chapter 6 of Township Code to update the membership, organization, and alternate membership provisions of the Environmental Commission. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the governing body on ordinance number 5? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Ellis.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 5?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Yes.
Ellis. Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance number 6, Mr. Friedman.
Okay, ordinance number 6 is an ordinance amending the code of Township of Egg Harbor, Chapter 57, entitled Affordable Housing. The purpose of this ordinance is to set forth the regulations regarding the very low, and moderate income housing units in the Township of Egg Harbor, consistent with the provisions outlined in Public Law 24, Chapter 2, including the amended Fair Housing Act at NJSA 52:27D-301 et sec, as well as the Department of Community Affairs, Division of Local Planning Services at New Jersey Administrative Code 5:99 et sec, statutorily upheld existing regulations of the now defunct Council on Affordable Housing, COA, at New Jersey Administrative Code 5:93 and 5:97, and the Uniform Housing Affordability Controls at NJAC 5:80-26.1 et sec, and as reflected in the adopted municipal fourth round housing element fair share plan. Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the governing body on ordinance number 6? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes, and Jen, thank you for your hard work on that nightmare.
Pauls.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance number 7, Mr. Friedman. Oh, I'm sorry, motion to adopt. Thank you, too, thank you. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 6? Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Now we'll go to ordinance number 7.
Ordinance number 7 is an ordinance amending Chapter 225 zoning, Article 4, general regulations, specifically Chapter 225-25.1, affordable housing development fees of the Code of the Township of Egg Harbor. The purpose of this ordinance is to establish standards for the collection, maintenance, and expenditure of development fees that are consistent with the amended Fair Housing Act of New Jersey AC 5:99 and the statewide Non-Residential Development Fee Act being located at New Jersey Statute 40:55D-8.1 through 8.7. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the governing body on ordinance number 7? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 7?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Ordinance number 8 for introduction, Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 8 is an ordinance repealing Chapter 6, or Article 17 of the Municipal Court of the Code of Township of Egg Harbor. The purpose of this ordinance is to repeal Article 17 of Chapter 6 to align with the code with prior amendments. A public hearing on Ordinance 8 of 2026 will be held on March 18, 2026 at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Friedman. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 8?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. And that was a fire call, if anybody wondered what his
Yeah.
pager was going off for.
I kept mine turned down, it's vibrating.
All right, we have a resolution and consent calendar, resolutions 116 through and including 128. Do we have any questions on any of that? If not, can I have a motion?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Castellano?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Farmer?
Yes. You know, I should have put stickies on these notes because there were so many papers. And Pete, 126 is you. So
Yes.
Pete is going to be the municipal designee to the New Jersey Pinelands Municipal Council.
Thank you, Mayor.
God bless you is what we all say.
God bless you and good luck to you.
That you'll do a great job. And you know what? You'll represent us well there. We need to have a voice at the table, and that's what that seat's for. So,
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. I intend to aggressively represent our township. I promise you
that
that.
about you.
I
So,
promise you that.
But Pete, we've had people there before, and you'll be able to tell us what's happening.
I've already called.
I think this common sense doesn't exist up there.
No, I agree.
What they're doing, but it's not right.
I've already called, and the council has not met recently, and I've already called and asked that we meet as soon as possible.
Good.
So I'll do the best I can.
Good, yeah.
all righty. We have, so do we do, wait, did I do this? Do we get a motion and a second on that? We did, okay. I'm not doing my check marks tonight, so I'm screwing it up. All right, we have a bill list. Resolution 129, authorizing payment of all bills. Can I have a motion so we can leave the lights on?
Yes, I made your motion. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Castellano?
Yes.
Hodson?
Yes.
Pauls?
Yes.
Ellis?
Yes.
Farmer?
Yes. We have some approvals. May I have a motion to approve the Township Committee meeting minutes of February 18th, 2026?
Make a motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the payroll for the month of February 2026 in the amount of $1,690,030.27? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Motion.
No.
I'm sorry, I forgot to ask for a motion. I just said, let's vote.
Motion?
Make a motion, yeah.
I'll second.
Very good. Now it's all in favor.
It's easily done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there anybody in the public that would like to address a governing body on any issues? This would be your time to come on up. Mike?
My name is Michael Price, 200 East Plaza Place, West Atlantic City. How you doing tonight? I just saw this, the ordinance introduction, Ordinance 8, Municipal Court Code of the Township of Egg Harbor. The question is, you're going to repeal the ordinance. What are you going to replace it with? Do you have another one in mind? Or is it just that you're going to align it with the code with prior amendments? In other words, you're going to repeal the ordinance, but are you going to replace it with something else or leave it the way it is? And I guess where I'm going with it is,
We're repealing it because there's no more court here.
Yeah, we got it.
We're part of the county municipal court, so
that's been going on for a while, right?
Yeah, so now we're.
Oh, so you're just clearing it off?
That's all. It's housekeeping.
Paperwork, housekeeping.
It's all.
Housekeeping, I
Yes.
got you. Because that was my question. How's things going with the municipal courts? Are you pretty satisfied with it? I mean, do you like it? Everything going well? Some towns seem to like it. Some towns don't seem to like it. How's your overall?
We have frequent meetings with the court staff and the.
So you're
judge.
satisfied, I mean, with the way things are
All
going?
services can always be better, but from the budget perspective, it's been a good winner for us. Outcomes are been improving since it started. When they had a rocky start, but I'll be honest with you, in the last couple of years, they've really started to clean their act up and get things streamlined the way they should be.
Because you hear over the years that it's like, it's easy to get into that system, but it's hard to get out of it, kind of like civil
It's
service.
not that, no, it's not hard to get out.
No? Okay. So that's my question then.
Everything's contract oriented, and when contracts are up, they're up.
All right. So everything's well with it. So that's the question then. You're just,
I was gonna say, bonus for us is we still have the space to house our own court if it was needed.
okay.
Some municipalities gave that up when they joined the court.
And what's the contract, the length of it offhand that you're? Yeah, is there a contract you have with them?
We do a year by year. It's yearly.
Oh, it's year to year?
It's yearly. Yeah.
Very good. All right, and just one other thing, I wanted to congratulate Mr. Castellano again with the Pinelands Council. I think it's important. I don't think we've had a rep on that since maybe Bob Burns was the mayor.
You've had some people since.
Was there a resident on there in between?
There's been a couple residents on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
And I think Bob did
Right
go to
there.
the meetings.
See that gentleman right there?
I was a commissioner, I wasn't on this.
oh yeah, but I noticed that it had been vacant for a while. But it's I think you had a resident on there at one time. I think his name was Bob.
Ran for school board.
Bob Delilah, I think, was on
Yeah,
there.
Delilah.
Was that Bob? Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I'm glad to see that there's movement on it, and it's this whole Pinelands thing. I mean, it's not a one thing or this one or that. It's a cooperative, and I think we all need to cooperate with all this growth. It's just out of control, and we just got to find ways that we can work together to address it because it's not going away, and it's just one thing leads to the next with it. But it's a group effort. So
One criticize I have in the Pinelands is I don't think they leave New Lisbon to come out here and do a field trip and look at some of the stuff they're doing. They
Well, they look at it on paper, but they actually come out.
They get their satellite and look at the area.
yeah.
And I really find a problem because maybe common sense would prevail by them looking at what they think you have to do or not do.
The other problem we have, which I think we all know, is we are South Jersey. The population density in North Jersey makes them look down here like, what are we complaining about?
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
it
and
does
that's-
sometimes feel like an entirely different state.
It is.
I mean, it's just the way it feels, and
They tried
it
to
shows.
secede that one time.
Yeah, so.
They came close to
But I
doing
think
it.
that's part of the issue. I think they look at South Jersey as.
I remember we had a couple township residents, I think Joel Jackowitz and I forget the other guy's
They came
name.
close, didn't it?
Mr. Dudley, I think it was years ago. They were big on that, South Jersey. They educated, there was a lot going on even back then. A couple of local guys, I don't know if they're still in the area, but I remember. So anyway, I just wanted to comment on that, and good luck, Pete, and we need it, so thank you.
Thanks.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Justice? You could put it in front of the podium. Now, you only have 5 minutes on this, okay?
And I'll tell you, I don't have anything put together. I'll tell you though, my name's.
This is going to go to the planning board.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
on the 16th.
Does
But
she
I'm
know
here
the
to
date?
talk, I'm here to dovetail on what that gentleman just said about the overdevelopment. Here's the Pinelands plan that I think is hideous. So I'm not going to give you much of this. I kind of brought that in hopes that the
board was up?
blackboard was up and I could see if it would fit. But I came yesterday.
That will fit on it, just so you know.
Yeah.
That will absolutely fit on that board.
Awesome. Well, I came yesterday, but they didn't hear the proposal that I came for, or I came on Monday. Yesterday was Tuesday.
But it will be heard the 16th.
It'll be
right?
heard on the 16th.
16th, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because the weather had to, we had to cram everything in together. So it will be heard the 16th.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
I think we need another 2 weeks. I need another 2 weeks just to sleep, hopefully get some sleep. But I live on Ivans Avenue, and my name is Cindy Justice. And I have a bunch of little handouts here if you guys want to look at them. I would like to get them back because I do have to do this presentation later. But if it's okay to bring them up to you, and Mr. Castellano, I am thrilled to know you're going to be talking to the Pinelands. Thrilled. Is that all right to push them up, or do you guys you probably have knowledge of
We
this?
do. Most of us,
And,
and especially since you want them back, I would say,
okay, I'll just show you the pictures then.
That's an aerial of the area and the density, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe that's well, not the density per se, but just the designation of the Pinelands, what kind of areas they have around here. And how, us being orange, that means we're, regional growth or whatever. But I will tell you, historically, this is our map from the late 1800s, okay? You see a whole lot of blue down here. Obviously, we don't see North Jersey, and I understand they look down here and say, oh, you're wide open, let's just put some more homes here. But I have some more pictures here that I took about the wetlands, and we have so many wetlands here. And I tell you, I am in one of those areas. This is our wetlands. And this is where they're cramming the stuff, or where the pylons are making us do it. This is Galloway, this is Hamilton, and this is us. I'm actually at that pink place. And I tell you, I think I was one of the first streets ever made in Egbert Township. I only say that because part of me wants to say, look, I was here first. I was here first. My property was here first. And I have to suspect also that they thought that this would be a nice area to make the town, because the street to the south of me, 1/2 mile from where West Jersey is called Main Street. But it doesn't go through because it's too wet.
It is very wet.
It's very wet there.
It's extremely wet. It's wetlands, according to this. I'll probably get it upside down. But, you know, it's just madness, absolutely madness what they're doing. I want to raise my hand and say I will go to every Pinelands meeting with you. I want to just say, give me some names. I want to start barking at them. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I think they're just running roughshod over top of us. The amount of developments, housing that has been constructed since I bought the place, this is what it looked like. That pink stuff is what the homes look like when I bought my house, and my house is this blue thing right down there. And now, and this is all from the wetland site, this is what it looks like. Isn't it? I mean, these people, like you said, they look down there, they say, oh, you got all these trees. Well, they save all the trees north of us. You know, the Pinelands, wherever that big one went, it's just total green above us. Like they're, hail you all, you get to keep your trees, but we don't. And I can't stand it. I mean, it really does damage to my property. It does damage to my mind. It does damage to my body. It brings wisteria, I believe. If you follow these pathways, these waterways, I've had such a wisteria assault upon my property. If you drive to the corner of Main and Spruce Avenue, you will see a place that's just been decimated. You continue south on Spruce, before you get to Reed's Farm Market, you'll see another place. It's just decimated by wisteria, which is a very invasive plant that has just recently been put on our list. You can't sell them in New Jersey anymore.
Oh, that's good.
I know,
That's good.
what I
Took me
thought.
10 years to get it off my property.
I tell you, I feel your pain.
Mm-hmm.
I put on my zoot suit, as I called it, because I had to have everything covered. There's poison ivy intermixed with it. There's bugs. There's thistles. There's all kinds of stuff, but same thing. It takes a really diligent effort. I've gone to tax hearings and said, how do you think my property is worth anything at all? Have you seen it? You've seen it. You and me, we've been eye to eye on my property. And it was a mess, was it not? It was horrible. And there's a packet about listeria in here that I hope to bring forward. But I hope somebody's timing me, because I didn't set my timer, but I don't want to be disrespectful. I appreciate every person who's sitting in front of me. You take time out of your day every other Monday or Wednesday. You're on Wednesdays. I could never do it. I mean,
Well, what you're doing right here is the same. You're standing up for what you believe in and
really
trying to
do.
protect what you believe.
I do. I believe
So,
in this township.
That's good. So make sure you're here
I will be.
on that Monday night, 5 o'clock.
16th, yeah.
Yeah, and that will absolutely fit on the board.
Good deal. It's kind of cobbly, but the blue stuff, that's federal hazard or flood hazard. So why would they put stuff up here into this flood hazard? I mean, and it comes up this way and it goes up. And, you know, we can't take it anymore. The volume, we just can't take it anymore and continue to have any kind of quality of life. And lastly, I will say, because I always bring this forward, when I bought my house in 92, I had a septic. But by the middle of those 90s, my septic failed. My septic failed.
So
There's
much water.
8 of us on the end of our street that, thank God, the MUA found funding and brought sewerage down my street. Otherwise, I wouldn't be flushing. And I talked to Elaine today, and she said, if you were on the gravity flow, which we're not, we have to have these pumps
You have a
to pump
pump.
us up. Right. We'd be probably 2 feet above the street. That's how low we are.
You are low there. Very
And that's
low.
why, you know, just a plug, we can't do that. Lots of beautiful plants down there too. And I'll leave it, but thank you for listening to me.
Bring all your stuff on the 16th.
I will. I'm gonna maybe even have it in order and stuff. I just got these nice pictures today. So, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Hi, Mr.
Thank you,
Justice.
Mrs. Justice. We'll see you on the 16th. Is there anyone else that would like to address the governing body? Mr. McLynch? Chief, I'm sorry, Chief was on his way up.
You don't count.
I was gonna say you to the end, but hey.
Well, I'm speaking on behalf of the Acre Township Police Department, and I wanted to just mention, I had a front row seat to the action Sunday night into Monday. I got to listen. I was driving around, listening to what was going on. And our volunteer fire department needs to be recognized. I mean, Public Works, outstanding. But you know what? When we're out and listening to the radio, seeing what's going on, and with all the trees down, the power lines, utility lines, poles being snapped. I mean, it's almost like you have to be there to really understand the impact that it's causing to the township. So when I hear residents complaining about, whatever, their power's out, their driveways, are plowed in, things like that. One of the things they need to realize is that a couple plows end up getting taken out of plowing because now they have to deal with this tree that's in the middle of the roadway, and that's not just occurring on one road. It's just cascading throughout the township. And that was in the short time that I was out there between, I think it was 6 p.m. Sunday and to 2 o'clock Monday morning. So, and I just sat there kind of just in awe of our volunteer firefighters, and because they have to go to all those wires arcing, and if you were out there, you got to see the light pops, like when
Transformers
blowing.
It's
It
worse
looks
than
like
a shotgun going off.
Well, it looks like you're in a war zone because the sky glows for a couple seconds, and then you roll up to there, and then the fire department has to be there because of the live wires, and again, it just keeps compounding because now they're on one. Public Works is deployed, and then before you know it, we got another one. So it just kept compounding. So just my hat's off on behalf of the police department to Public Works and our volunteer firefighters, because if they don't work together, then our municipality is going to suffer.
We're very fortunate with what happens in a bad event, and I'll talk about Harbor Pines the other day. We're very, very fortunate that we had people answer the call.
Agreed.
All hands on deck to help this township.
And the one thing we all
People
know,
don't get it.
it takes planning and coordination. We have to have a plan in place, which we do. And I will say this too, to all the police officers that were out there too, they were pitching in and helping where they could. So they did a great job, as did Public Works. And I agree with you on the fire department because we say it all the time, they are volunteers. And they got out there and did it on their own time and their own energy to get out there and take care of this community.
And they have
Every time
they
do
have to maintain their houses and keep them plowed and clean so they can deploy when needed, which they were needed throughout the whole
Chief, not to
event.
belabor this, the resident swears that when she called, police cars cut the tree. So do we have anybody with an electric chainsaw?
We do. No, we have electric
Then she had it right,
chainsaws for those
'cause
times.
I tried to describe to her, was it a red truck? Maybe it was the fire chief or somebody. But she insisted it was two. She made the young guy. She was pleasant about the young men that came.
It was probably me.
Maybe it was.
I was probably out there.
They were talking. It was really a pretty attractive looking police officer or two.
That's definitely
cut
me.
it. So I said, well, I guess they have a chainsaw in the truck. I don't know.
Now,
That's good stuff.
A few years ago, I think it was derecho. Because of derecho, we ended up getting some
You have some
electric
in the cars?
chainsaws. We have them here at the police department to deploy them. And obviously, again, the two that we have aren't going to solve what that storm brought.
But she was right. She described the police cars and she got out. and
Mr.
took care
Hughes,
of it.
maybe.
So, and then a final mention to our police communications. People don't realize. So I did get the data and the stats. I mean, the spike in calls Sunday night into Monday was extraordinary. And people, again, so our dispatchers have to field the calls. And remember, we're not just dispatching for EHT. We're dispatching for Pleasantville, Northfield, Linwood, Longport, and Summers Point EMS. So they were earning their keep during the storm. And so
That's why when we
my
honor them
compliments to them.
next month, it's like, bring those stats in.
I do.
Yeah, bring
we can
them in,
talk about
so.
those stats.
Yeah.
So I compared them to the same time period before, and it's basically, it's pretty impressive. So anyway, our hats off to Public Works. Thank you. And to our volunteer firefighters and to our dispatch center. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Mr. McGlinchey. He knows a little bit about this.
My name's Ed McGlinchey, 7 Sunset Boulevard over in Seaview Harbor. Good luck on the municipal council. One quick question. I wanted to get an update on the CRS program, if there is one. I know Bob was mentioning at the end of last year, beginning of this year, it should be.
Yeah, Pat Nachione is just finishing up his review of everything, and then we'll be submitting it.
Great.
Yeah.
And just one comment. I think the guys did a phenomenal job. I'm not running for election, but I'm telling you, they did a great job. I mean, our roads out there in Seaview were cleaned down to the blacktop, curb to curb, because we don't have a lot of traffic this time of year. So that helps. But I can tell you the mainland towns next to us, I'm not going to mention.
They failed.
Failed.
I know.
I don't even think they made it a 10th.
Work. It was horrible.
And I'm not talking about the one town. I'm talking about
I don't know the rest.
The other surrounding
I just
towns.
go through SP.
You were Winslow?
Winslow, yeah.
How many
I was
miles?
in that storm with Alan.
Yeah.
That was worse than this one, but not that much. When you can't see, you know, all those hours, you can't see. I don't care, even when the sun came up, you can't see.
Actually, sometimes
And
that's why it works.
Alan's being generous when he says it really equates to about 1,200 miles. Remember, it's just not 300 miles. You got lane miles. Takes three passes, cul-de-sac.
This way, and then you turn around and come back that way.
Takes so much time. Then you got to clean up the intersections. Don't get me started. They did a great job.
Thank you, Mr. McGlinchey. Appreciate that. And Oliver, make sure you share that with everybody.
I stress in an email. Thank you.
Oh, good, good. And they got that. Okay, is there anyone else that would like to address the governing body? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Make a motion.
All in favor? Aye. Township committee reports. Well, we're going to go back to you, Mr. Castellano. Last meeting, we got you to go later.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything in addition to what I already covered, but since we paid well-deserved kudos and thank yous to our volunteer fire companies for the tremendous work they've done recently. We're going to be thanking them soon. We also have to prepare to make sure that we give them what they need at budget time as well. But other than that, thanks.
Mr. Pauls.
Just want to say to everybody, keep our troops in their prayers and thoughts. And they got a hell of a mission going on out there. And also had the opportunity to talk to Commissioner Jim Bertino, bridge on Spruce Avenue. Jimmy's head of bridges and roads for the county. And just express what we talked about. The road cannot be closed down, and he's totally on board with that.
That's good.
So as it comes through design, I told him keep.
Bob probably has it.
I can find it.
Yeah. Bob will have it for you. Very good. Mr. Hodson.
Well, we got through the storm, and I think we all covered it. We all come together and try to do the best we can with the elements we're dealing with. But the other day, we had a tremendous fire, about 10 to 3. I believe it was 10 to 3 in Harbor Pines. And I'm going to tell you something. We are damn lucky that we have the volunteers we have. Because listening to the calls, you kind of get the sense of the importance. And I was doing my daily donation to the state of New Jersey in lottery at the time when I got the location. And the reason I moved that way was because of the updates from our dispatchers to the fire department. At the time, it was Skelville and Vernon Cruz, and Vernon Cruz is one of our better leaders. There's no doubt about it. But that house was fully involved, and there was no saving that poor place. And here's what's interesting, and I say it before, and I'm sure the people on Facebook will say, Hodgson, shut up. If you say something, say something. Just tell somebody. The call came in from a woman driving down Steelmanville Road, not from the neighborhood, Steelmanville Road. And the black plume of that house, when it was going up, was unbelievable. And to Skelville and Bargaintown and Farmington and Cardiff, Summers Point helped out. Summers Point was there right away. It was terrible. And it's a terrible thing I rarely take pictures, but I took a couple pictures of it because, at the start of it, you're going to have the people say, well, we had a paid fire department, it would have saved that house. Nobody could have saved that house. Okay. And so to the people in our homes, one of the best things that's happened in my lifetime is smoke alarms. Have them, tie them in, have audibles, because maybe if something had alerted people to the fire in that attic before it took off, they might have been able to save that home. But to Skelville, the Bargaintown truck, and I was there when Cruz pulled up, and there was no truck. The Skelville truck got there right away along with Bargaintown. I mean, tremendous. And we're very, very lucky. The police officer there, I think the police officer helped get the dog out of the house. There was an animal in there crying or barking. And it's all hands. You can all help. That's why they say volunteers. Doesn't say you have to be an expert. You can drag hoses. I know what they want to do when they're pulling a hose out. Got to extend it before they charge it. It's basic stuff. So to Skelville, to all our fire departments, and even this one that was unusual, to have Hamilton Township, which we're always helping them, come down and back our 2 stations up because we were gainfully employed at Harbor Pines. And we're very lucky. And I know there was a Skelville fireman here. He left, but they had a tone. It happens all the time. And through the snowstorm, if you never heard a transformer blow, you'll remember it because you'll think it's a hand grenade that just went off if you're close by. And so, that's what goes on in the neighborhood. And I wish those people all the luck in the world because they lost everything. And our boys did a good job.
They did.
But, and back to this, they're volunteers, all volunteers. And when the updates come in, that's what gets guys moving. Because if somebody hears an update for Skelville, Bargaintown's going to get there whether they're been dispatched or not and get in that truck and get ready. And that's what happened. So I know Sharp was there with Cruz. I know Cardiff got there along with Farmington, but it was terrible. And another thing too, we are used to and getting used to hydrants. Thank God there was a hydrant out front because if they ran out of water too quick, that'd have been worse. But they had a hydrant there. Bargaintown pumped off the hydrant. We didn't have to worry about getting tankers or anything else in there. But again, we're very, very lucky as a community to have our firemen. And it's a daytime fire, which usually doesn't get a lot of participation. So
I'll say this, Paul had shared a couple of the pictures. So I had some of them and I shared it with someone and they thought it was AI generated. It was, the fire was so orange and you could see it inside the house.
The heat coming off that house here's another thing, it's construction, and I don't want to badmouth those construction because there's engineers around. But those trusses don't last 10 seconds, okay? A regular house built by stick may do a little better. But when that roof collapsed down into the front floor, that was the end. So, we're very lucky. And I don't usually take pictures because I can barely use my phone. But I wanted to get a picture of the beginning. I got more or less after a minute or two, and it was bad. And to the police officers, I forget the sergeant that was there. I can't think of his name. I mean, the guys did a great job. They know the deal. They can pull hose and help them guys get ready. Mm-hmm. But Skelville was quick. Bargaintown was quick, and there was no saving that home. And I God bless the family because they lost everything. And that's about it. That's enough said. But, we all have to work together. This is our community. It's nobody's else. And you want to sit there and moan and groan and make comments on Facebook, we're doing the best we can, and that's what volunteerism is about. Look it up. It's in the dictionary. They're volunteers.
Very good.
That's my editorial for tonight. Oh, and just a point to Pete Castellano. Pete, maybe when you talk to our friends at the Pinelands, ask them to reference the Highlands compared to us. And that maybe since they saved them, they can save our when the Highlands came. I think Bill Gormley, I forget who paid for the buses, we all went up there. And once they realized where we were from, they thought we had leprosy because they wouldn't talk to us.
Do you remember who testified?
You did.
It was me.
Yeah, I do. And I tell you what I do remember. I remember Frank Sutton, I believe, had an aerial picture of what looks like maybe there's the craters in Iran today. I mean, it was terrible, of the retention ponds that they thought would work for our development.
Right.
So, good luck, Pete. That's a reference to what are you doing? How's the Highlands making out?
Yeah, I remember it very well. And because of our trip and probably other things, they did not adopt growth zones up there.
Yeah.
They changed the whole thing.
Because
They knew
that's
it
the
didn't work
problem.
here. That's amazing. They
Exactly
knew it
right.
didn't work.
Exactly
So-
right.
I mean, Pete, if you can make any headway, God bless you, but, we got to start screaming at them because they're not doing us justice.
Gotta try.
Mr. Ellis.
Everything's been said. Well, one thing, but we always got to acknowledge each and every one, the residents, the fire department, police department, public works, EMT. Great job, great community. Make sure you get a clear understanding, those who's listening, those who's watching, of what the school is going to vote on, this new thing with the school. Because a lot of time, like first, it wasn't clear about what exactly is going on. If you don't know, call them. Look it up online. And, this is very important for us to be knowledgeable of what we're voting on and not just assume from what somebody say. That's it.
Well, there really isn't much to say. Everybody said it all. But I know this. Bad times bring out the best in most people. And I think this storm brought out the best in everybody. Most people. I'll rephrase that. Most people. But I think what we do and what we continue to do is plan for things that can go wrong, plan for how we can do things better. I think any community that keeps the eye on the future and doesn't stay stagnant can survive these things. They're going to come. Bad weather's going to come. We can't guarantee when, but it's coming. So, Chief, I'm going to say to you, if Oliver's still over there, to our police department, our fire department, our EMS, our public works, our administration, everybody is concerned about the future and what goes on here. So I thank you all for having the foresight to have these plans already in place and the chains all marked and ready to go. It wasn't since I lived in Michigan and I heard people putting chains on tires. So, but no, I just want to thank everybody for what they did during the storm and the neighbors that helped each other. There was a lot of that in this town. And so thank you all for that. We are now into March and someone told me it's supposed to be 75, 80 degrees sometime next week. This is crazy.
Yeah, we'll get the suntan.
And so, listen, it's just, thank you all. Thank you all for coming tonight. It was a great meeting. I have nothing else to say, except for Tom. Do you have anything to say?
Report tonight, ma'am.
Nothing. Mark?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. And I'll try to be brief. It concerns the Pinelands. I've had the privilege of sitting up here for many years and serving the community, the governing body, and as a township solicitor, as well as a resident of the township. And I was hoping Mrs. Justice would still be here to hear this, but the governing body at the time, actually before I started, recognized that with the advent of the Pinelands coming into play, it was not a good thing for Egg Harbor Township. It was a regulatory body that was formed, not for the protection of Egg Harbor Township, even though we're in the Pinelands, even though we have Pinelands. It wasn't done for us. We became the sacrificial lamb, and the other communities outside the area that they wanted to protect or designated to protect, we on the outside became the high-growth communities. So it's not by mistake, it's by design that the population of a growing state like New Jersey, in the area that we are between New York and Philadelphia and Washington, these were the areas that were going to take the housing. These were the areas that were going to take the population. And that's maybe the reason why many of us are living here now, because we were kind of restricted to find housing in this area, not in Chemung, not in Medford, but in here, in the high-growth zones. So the rules and regulations that have been imposed upon us, that I have litigated, that developers have to deal with, that our boards have to deal with, it's an uphill battle, and it's an uphill battle by design. People can complain about overdevelopment and what the township is doing or not doing about it. The deck is stacked against us, folks. And we have done our best, and successive governing bodies have done their best to slow the growth, to prevent it from happening, but it's a constant uphill battle. They'll force the growth here, but they're not giving you any money to help you with your roads. They're not giving you any money to help with your with your education and your buildings. And so kudos to the governing body for keeping the municipality as livable as they can under the circumstances that we're dealing with. And I'm proud to be part of that effort. And I'm proud of the governing bodies that have done their best with a hand that's stacked against them to keep it a beautiful community, one that I've raised my family and my 3 kids through education system. And hopefully it will be there for many years to come. And the population, the increasing population is coming. Hopefully we can work together and make it as comfortable under the circumstances as we can. So thank you, Mayor, for giving me this opportunity.
I know, you've been in the forefront of this for years. Well, I think that is all we have tonight. And do we have a need for a closed session?
No, ma'am.
We do not. Everybody's smiling now. So you know what the next thing is? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
You got that motion.
Can I have a second? We are adjourned.